There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Welcome to Sci-Fi Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Steve.
And I'm Sean, Fangirl S, and today we'll be discussing episode 6 of season 3 of Channel Zero Butcher's Block. So, oh my gosh, this was... Okay, before we jump in, just thumbs up or thumbs down from you. Because it's thumbs up, but it was really weird for me.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was a thumbs up for me as well. It did not end the way I was expecting it to end, though.
No, it did not. Because so far every season, there's been something kind of weird at the end, but it's had more closure.
Right.
This one, I'm just like, what the hell?
Exactly.
So I had a lot of questions. I was texting Steve that, obviously.
Yeah.
But let's jump into the ratings news, shall we?
All right. Episode 5 brought in a 0.07 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.269 million viewers, making it the 130th overall cable show.
I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been more.
I
think
am too.
A lot of people weren't expecting it to be back this soon.
Right.
And
I think you're right.
And I have a feeling that when more people realize that it's going to be on demand or on Hulu or whatever, it's going to have a whole lot of people watching this.
Right.
It's so weird.
Yes.
All right. So why don't we jump into episode 6, shall we? The finale.
Right. Yes, the season finale.
Yeah.
Sacrifice Zone. Zoe and Alice confront the Peach family.
Thanks for that.
For nothing.
That was so descriptive. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think I would call that Zoe and Alice confronting the Peach family.
Not really. No. Although, some interesting things did play out.
Oh, yeah. Well, we start in the hideout as Izzy is back in her hideout that we saw way back when in episode 2, I think. But this time she's got a big old knife in there.
She ain't playing around. This kid's like, crap. This weird meat guy came after me, and they keep putting all this weird crap on me. I think I need to do something. And then I start freaking out, because then we see the door shaking, and she's kind of backing up into a corner. And I'm like, oh my God, what's coming after her?
Right. We didn't know if it was one of the munchkins that found her or what. You go, damn it.
Yeah, I was not feeling really good, because we see the door kind of shake, like it's trying to open, and it's kind of giving, and then we don't see anything. And I was like, oh my God, what did they do? What happened to Izzy?
Right.
This poor kid just got down from Crazyville.
Yeah. And we cut to the Peaches field.
Yes. This really nice, beautiful field. And we see the gardener again. He pops up, smiling, tipping his hat, looking all cordial.
And basically, it's Joseph and Alice. Joseph wants to know how she's doing, and then they sit down and have a little heart-to-heart about what's going on. They're going to have to basically we have to keep our promise, shall we say.
Right.
He doesn't come out and call it a sacrifice, but that's what it is.
But doesn't he? Kinda?
Yeah, he does.
I'm like, I feel like he does say something about, well, we offered the little girl, and it's his angel. And he has a lot of angels. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he does call it an offering, that's for sure. Now, of course, Alice asked about what kind of higher power is, and is it beautiful?
Which is weird to me.
Right. Well, if you think about God, you expect to see something beautiful. Well, Joseph tells her it's so beautiful it will make your eyes bleed.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's the opposite.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like it's something beautiful that makes your eyes bleed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. And she just seems like, okay, that's cool. Let's give him a little kid. It's like, weren't you a social worker for like a hot minute?
Yeah. And wasn't Izzy your first case?
That you promised to keep her safe?
Right.
This doesn't have that feel.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. And then obviously Alice doesn't know that the god ate one of Joseph's grandkids.
No.
Which is creepy. But I don't know. I just feel like even kind of strung out, she might feel more, but apparently not so much.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of get the feeling that she's trying to get information about what's going on, and you kind of hope that she will process that and say, this doesn't add up, but not so much.
No, because even when Joseph's like, you understand, right? And she's just like, yeah, and smiling and nodding away. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I can't deal with you.
No. So we cut to the playground where Zoe is wandering around and hearing the voices in her head again. And she stops and looks up, and we cut to the stairs as we see almost the entire family heading down the stairs and into the park.
Interesting, because yes, you have Joseph and his wife both heading down, and just all the kids, I guess, because you see all the feet coming. It's like, okay, how are they doing this? I mean, they don't all look all super strong, but
yeah.
I mean, is the wife like, I'm going to take everyone down with me? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, with getting rid of the two brothers, you think they'd be almost at a disadvantage, but we'll find out that not so much.
Yeah, that was true.
So we go to Luis's basement, and oh, what a nice shot of all the heads on the table.
I don't know, it's gotta be the whole thing with Louise and like, let me stuff everything.
Right.
Because it didn't make a whole lot of sense. We're just gonna lay them all out here. Here's our crime.
Right. And we see Luke checking out some shears. You go, that would be awful difficult to cut somebody's head off with those.
I have no idea what he's thinking. I think he's just so in the moment, like he's not really thinking ahead.
Right. Yeah, because basically he's ready to go after them, and Luis tells him this isn't going to work. You can't just go after them, and maybe it's time for them to just go, and that doesn't set too well with Luke.
No, he seemed to get really ticked, thinking that she's trying to bail.
Yeah.
Which isn't what she's doing. She's trying to save all of you.
Yes, she is.
And then the frantic knocking starts. And I was like, oh my God, who's at the door?
Right. So Luke draws his gun and they head upstairs. Luke peeks out the window of the door, but can't see who it is. So each one of them get a side of the door and they open it to find Diane.
Which
holding
surprised
Izzy.
me. Yes. So she's the one who went and got her, I guess.
Right.
And I was really grateful, weirdly enough, that it was Diane.
Yeah.
Because in this moment, she seemed completely lucid.
Right.
And
more lucid than we've ever seen her.
Right. You know, when she's like, she came back, I found her hiding, and you got to keep her safe. And even at this point, Louise is like, Diane, come in. She's like, no. But, you know, she's really nice to Izzy. So I'm sure that, you know, being in Butcher's Block, she's seen stuff. But whatever Diane's seen with the peaches has scared her into sanity, basically, is what
right. Yeah, I think so.
Especially when she's like, they're going to come for her, keep her safe. It's like, wow, okay. Like, she's serious. So I'm wondering if she's going to kind of be hanging outside at this point to try to either be like early warning or try to help whatever she can.
Right.
Because
obviously Diane actually ends up playing a very pivotal role in this finale.
I was really surprised. Wow.
Yes.
That's a whole marathon away from where we started. Let's say that.
Yes, exactly. So Louise starts to clean Izzy up, and Zoe comes in, and they share a big hug. Of course, Izzy tells her that she hid like you told me to. Louise asks, where's Alice?
Well, at this point, Alice was the one who was sane.
Right.
Except
was.
Yeah, I know. So many things switched on us this episode.
Yes. And Zoe just shakes her head and tells them that she stayed.
Which I don't understand. I still don't understand that. I don't know if I'm ever going to understand that.
No, not at all. Me neither. Of course, we see Zoe walking around the house, checking the windows, and Luis asks, so that's it? There's nothing we can do? And Zoe goes, well, maybe there is. And she tells them about the thing that's up there that's not a peach.
Yeah, that's not I don't know, anything.
But the key is, they seem to be very scared of what will happen if they don't deliver.
And at this point, light bulb moment, Luis is like, all right, we cannot let them get their hands on Izzy.
Right. And we want to see what happens to them when they fail.
Good. Good. We'll take my car and get out of here as fast as we can. It's like, okay, that's a great plan, but we know that Zoe pretty much had to run from the park.
Right.
And, I mean, does Zoe know that they're right on her tail? Probably not, but they're pretty close, so you need to be, like, jumping in that car and taking off.
Right. Because Zoe gets to the door, gets outside, and finds her sister standing there.
Right. And Alice looking so just calm. So you know things weren't right.
Right.
Because if she had come back to her senses, I'm going to say that, then she'd probably look a little more frantic.
Right.
Not so much.
And of course she wants in, and Zoe says, I don't think so. Thank you, Zoe.
Yes, thank you. And I love it because she kept asking her, did you leave? She's like, you gonna let me in? What, is she a vampire now? She needs to be invited in? What's going on?
Yeah. Because I can leave whenever I want. Well...
Can you?
And Alice tells her she knows Izzy's in there, so you can give her to me or they're going to come and take her. You go, okay.
Yeah, you just don't care anymore. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But then Zoe, again, our crazy one in the beginning, she's like, you were so scared of losing your mind, you just gave it away.
Nice line.
I was really surprised. I'm like, ooh, that's a dig.
Yes. Very big one.
And with Alice, now this is what I was confused. Was Alice saying she needed Zoe more than ever, or Zoe needed her more than ever?
Zoe needed her more than ever.
Okay. See, I was a little confused with it, because it could have been either way.
Right. She goes, let me take care of you in a world where you don't have to worry about money or mom or being sick.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
So brainwashed.
Yeah, and I love it because Zoe's like, yeah, how about we jump in the car and, just take off? It's like, start someplace fresh, no cannibalism. How much do you have to eat every day now? How often?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of what set her off then, because all of a sudden Alice is like just yelling to give me Izzy and you can leave. And I was like, okay, is it the fact that she's telling her, look how much you're consuming, and that's people, and you're going to let somebody consume this little girl?
Yeah.
And Alice was kind of pissed, and I was not exactly surprised she got mad, but I was surprised that it turned so fast.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me that she turned so fast. Just, that's kind of the way they are, is you don't give me what I want. I'm so used to getting everything I want that I'm going to be pissed if I don't get what I want when I ask for it.
Yeah, especially with I'd rather live in a world with no pain. It's like, oh, that sounds like an addict.
Yeah, sure does. And she should know, because Zoe was an addict, so come on.
Yep. Oh, but man,
so, of course, Zoe manages to get back into the house.
Which I was happy for.
Yes, very. And, of course, Alice is stomping around the front porch, calling for Zoe, and all of a sudden a man asks her if she's okay.
Now, right here, I'm like, okay, first of all, he's not a peach.
Right.
He doesn't look like the crazy god thing, but, who knows?
Right.
But the way he keeps going, all of a sudden I'm like, are you serious? This is the student loan guy. Like,
yes.
And I'm like, all right, listen, for those of you who don't know, because I'm paying student until I die.
Yes.
They don't come to your house like this idiot.
No.
And at this point, I'm like, you deserve to be fed to the peaches. I'm sorry, because he was a dick. Like, I'm not even being nice about this. I'm not going to play it up. He's like, you owe $90,000 in loans, and you think somebody else is going to take care of it. You spoiled brat. I'm like, she got out of school like 6 months ago, dude.
Right.
Where is she getting $90,000? Did she win the lottery? And I swear to you, what she did, I'm not even mad at her.
No.
Because now I've had to deal with them. They are never to that level of dickheadedness.
Right.
Because
but they can be awful rude.
Oh, they can be jerks, but not to this level. Like,
no.
You better do it, you spoiled little brat. Look, are you kidding me? Yeah, I've had to argue because I'm like, I don't make that kind of money. We're coming with that.
Right.
You can't take more than I make.
Yeah.
And then when she jumps on him and literally takes a bite out of his throat, I'm like, I'm not mad at you. That guy was a jerk.
Yeah.
Probably not the way to handle student loans, but I guess whatever works for you at that moment.
Right.
I mean, is it wrong that I was kind of cheering? Probably, because she still ripped the poor man's throat out. But I'm like,
oh, yeah.
You know what, dude? That's a whole different level. I guess you really wish you didn't buy that debt now, didn't you? Right.
Yeah. And we were kind of hoping that he was going to get fed to the peaches.
Yeah.
And, well, he kind of did.
Yeah. Again, not mad. Not mad at her with this one, but wow. And see, this is why you're a debt collector. I wouldn't go knocking on somebody's house. You got crazies out there, obviously.
Yeah, that's right.
And Alice turned into one of those cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs ones.
So Zoe gets the inner door shut and hears Louise calling for her. As she runs past the window, she sees a couple of the munchkins outside and...
Did they even see this happen, or are they coming around back? I'm wondering.
I don't think they saw that happen, but I think they were coming around back, like you said. Or...
everything kind of at the same time, so that, like, nobody's actually seeing it.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. That there's so much going on the front porch that they can sneak around and...
Oh, that makes sense. That was a bit of a distraction on the front porch.
Oh, absolutely. So she runs downstairs and sees Luis and Luke finally getting those boards to the entrance to the tunnels off.
Yeah, those boards that looked like they were put up so badly that apparently were really hard to open. Yeah, great. What the heck? And then this next part, I was like, what just happened? Because next thing we know, we see a door fall in and you see Joseph and Smartmouth.
Right.
And Joseph, like, kind of, pats Smartmouth on the head. It's like, okay, who just did that? Was that Smartmouth that did it?
Absolutely, it was Smartmouth.
So he's like this super strong, crazy little monster thing?
I think so.
I mean, he was creepy, but you know what I mean.
Right, yes. I think he's got some powers as well, because I am in full belief that he was the one who knocked that double door down.
Yeah, I was watching, I'm like, which one just did that? That was weird.
Yes, it was, and awful scary because you don't want Smartmouth.
No. Yeah, no.
So, of course, Joseph walks into Luis's study and sees the wall of peaches and missing persons.
Yeah.
Not real happy about that.
No, you start seeing his face do weird things. Like,
yes, again.
Yeah, so at least our group is in the tunnels, which they have no idea where they're going, if they're even still regular tunnels, not collapsed, too.
Right, yeah, where do they lead?
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Anywhere is out of the house at this point.
Yeah, who knows? Those tunnels are over 100 years old. So they run into another boarded up tunnel and start working on it, and we see Joseph finding the 4 body bags.
And you really see him start to change.
Yeah. And the head's on the table. This is not good, Louise.
No, things are going to get real bad real fast.
Yes, very much so. Especially seeing that Smartmouth joins him and they share a hanky.
Yeah, that was weird too, because there's like blood in his mouth all of a sudden.
Well, I think when he got it back from Smartmouth, it was the actual hanky had a red design along the outside.
Oh,
because I thought it was blood too, but no, it was a design on the outside, around the outside of the hanky.
I was like, ew, what's happening?
Yeah,
but it was weird because then Joseph puts like the whole thing into his mouth. And next thing we know, he is like covered with that same goop that they've been putting on Izzy.
Right.
And I was like, what the hell is happening?
Exactly.
Are they trying to say that he was like a sacrifice originally and came back or something? Like, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either, as how he could turn that way. I mean, yes, we've seen the phasing of in and out, but we've never seen him turn white like that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's just what he would normally look like, and that seeing him at 70 or 80 is what the phasing is keeping him looking like instead of 130.
That's true. Because he'd be very skeletal, I think, at this point.
Yeah. And of course, the gang gets the first board off and they hear this horrible wail.
Yeah. Not good. Work faster.
No. And Luke pulls his gun and all of a sudden there's Joseph and Smart Mouth. I mean, they just appeared there.
Yes. And
you go,
and
whoa.
Let's pump up the weird factor now.
Oh, absolutely. Because Smart Mouth tilts his head all the way back and then back up, and he becomes the voice of Joseph.
Right. It's like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. Hanky in your mouth there, Joseph?
Oh, you're a ventriloquist. That's interesting. Maybe, creep us out anymore. But Smart Mouth is in Joseph's voice telling him, give me the child. What do you do? Shoot me? Give me the child. It's like, no. It's like, you're creeping me out.
Right. And Louise asks if he remembers her brother.
This was messed up.
No joke. And you hear Smart Mouth say, I don't know. What did he taste like?
Somehow,
Son of a
I'm not
bitch.
surprised. Somebody's going to get shot.
Yeah.
And, they're trying to hide Izzy, so they, slide her into the other tunnel, which did not work.
No, because on the other side of that were the two munchkins that we saw going around the back. Apparently, they know where all the tunnels are and went in and got into that one to stop Luis and company from progressing any further, and they were handed Izzy in a
roundabout way there.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Izzy screams, which is not something that we want to happen.
No, not at all.
And Luis is emptying the gun at Joseph, but he's kind of not there anymore.
Right. He phases in and out. It just doesn't get to him. He should have shot Smart Mouth.
Right.
So we're back up to the playground, I guess.
Yeah,
or
it's
not
the stairs,
actually the
basically.
playground, but it's in the park. And we see Edie carrying this really, really long torch. And we get a Joseph voiceover saying, I made a deal to protect my family a long time ago. Our God holds the universe inside his cloak. He will give you whatever you want, show you whatever you want to see. He's so generous. He gives us our little patch of heaven where it's always summer, and he gives us children. Huh?
The little creepy things?
Yeah, those little creepy things. I don't know if I'd call them children or not.
Whose kids are they? That's what I start to wonder.
Right.
Because you only got one woman up there who's in childbearing age, basically.
Yes. And she's pregnant, so what's coming out of there?
Mm-hmm.
And we see Edie light a huge fire and, of course, has a contraction, more than likely.
Yes. And that was weird because she's kind of like, all right, I got to keep lighting this fire. And it's like this weird double high, fireplace.
Right.
And it's on two sides. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What are you going to burn her?
Yeah. Does the landlord like his food well cooked? I mean, he didn't before, because he took that munchkin and ate it without it being cooked.
And isn't it Joseph again saying, he demands offerings?
Right.
And we must deliver what we promise.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Because now I'm really all creeped out.
Right. And we see Joseph carrying Izzy. And of course, Smart Mouth has got Robert's head.
Yeah. Okay. Why did you only grab Robert, by the way?
He was Evelina's favorite, so you gotta...
Oh, so she's like, screw it, we're leaving the rest. That's nice.
Yeah, she didn't know. It's that I guess it was Joseph's way of showing his wife that, yes, Robert actually is dead. I don't know.
Messed up.
Yeah, I kept thinking they were going to pop the heads back on the bodies and they were going to get up.
Maybe they messed them up too bad. Who knows?
Yeah.
But good news, kinda, sorta. Diane pops up from behind a tree, swearing.
Yeah.
But she sees them carrying Izzy to this place, so maybe she can get our little Scooby Gang there to help before things go too bad.
Yes. At least she knows where they've taken her.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not exactly surprised that she was cussing, because I think we all kind of said what she said.
Oh, absolutely. You MFs?
Yeah. It just, I didn't understand the weird 2-tower fire thing, but...
Right. Well, and we find out that this was at one time their chapel.
Which makes it even weirder.
Yes.
Like, if this is supposed to be what was in their house, like, what the hell were you guys doing?
Right.
But then as Edie's having, like, the labor contraction, she's kind of walking off into the pasture over here on the side.
Yeah, behind everything.
Yeah, and the meat monster's helping her. It's like, okay, is he delivering for you? What is going on?
Yeah, exactly. And we see Evelina preparing the marking mixture.
Yeah, the paste. Who knows what the hell?
Right.
You making a roux? What are you doing?
Yeah. Little sauce on the side.
Right. Like, what are you doing, weirdo?
And of course, they lay Izzy on the slab, and we see Luis, Zoe, and Luke entering the park. And as soon as they get in, they're joined by Diane.
I'm telling you, she has come probably the furthest out of all of them.
Right. Absolutely. Because, of course, Diane goes, "What are we going to do?" And Zoe says, "Whatever we have to."
Yeah, Diane seems to be all in for this, so, hey, if they can get this to work.
Right.
As long as she doesn't have scissors, I think we'll be all right.
Exactly.
And where did they get this, like, white scarfy veil thing that they had on Izzy?
I have no idea where that came from, unless that was just a scarf that Joseph wears.
I don't remember.
Around his collar.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Now I can't picture what it was, but...
No, but I think I've seen it there.
Oh, okay.
And they take that off, and Alice asks if it will hurt her. And Joseph goes, "No, it feeds gently."
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
I totally believe that.
Yeah. And Alice goes, "And I'll see it? Like, you really want to watch this thing eat Izzy?"
Thank you. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, this woman's got problems.
Yeah, she's definitely gone off the deep end here.
Oh, yeah.
And Joseph says, "You will, but close your eyes at first. Your mind is fragile and his powers could overwhelm you."
Yeah. So maybe just don't look at anything.
Yeah. So Evelina says it's time. They put the scarf back over Izzy's face. And, of course, Zoe, Luis, and Luke make it to a point where they can see what's going on. And then we get this nice little line of the Munchkins, Joseph, Evelina, and Alice.
And Robert's head. Yeah. And then Joseph, like, covers his face very, like the weeping angels.
Right, exactly.
And then Evelina, and then Alice is looking, and she's like, "Oh, okay, they're all doing this." Now, she goes to do it, but I want to ask, because I swear that Smartmouth covered Robert's eyes, too.
Oh, I think so.
Okay, because I'm like, am I seeing things? What is going on?
Yeah, no, I think he had one hand over Robert's eyes. Yeah, I think he did.
I thought that was weird, but okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't seeing things.
Right. And so, of course, Luis tells them that they're going to sacrifice her.
Yeah, that was pretty much what the whole plan was.
Yes, it was. And Alice moves her finger so she can see the little no peeky.
Right. Yeah,
and then lowers her hands enough over both eyes. And all of a sudden, the staircase has appeared between the towers, and at the top of it is the red door.
Dun, dun, dun. And the door opens. Yeah, I love it because, okay, distraction, right? Because you don't know what's coming down. But
right,
our little gang is like, all right, well, we got to do something. Zoe's like, it's now or never. So she goes, and Luis and Luke follow her. And I love it that Zoe's trying to distract Alice, and the rest of them are like, okay, just got to keep my face covered, can't look.
Right.
Which surprised the hell out of me. You think Joseph would turn around and be like, get away, whatever.
Right.
But
Would think so, but
Alice and Zoe decide to kind of start fighting a little. What are you doing here? Come with me. No, I gotta stay here. Blah, blah, blah. Back and forth. And Luke and Louise are standing right next to Zoe. And I'm sorry, when she says, how often do you feed it? Which I apologize.
Right.
I was thinking she meant her own addiction, not the thing.
Right. No. Yeah.
It took a minute, for that to really click which one she was talking about. Although, really, It could have fit either way. How often do you have to feed the addiction, of whatever's inside you or the thing?
Right. Right. Yeah. You become a cannibal. How often do you have to feed before you go nuts?
Right.
Before the madness comes back.
And Alice is just like, Zoe, just leave. And so he's like, it eats kids, lady.
Yeah.
You were trying to help people. Hello. And was it one of the munchkins that all of a sudden says, Grandpa, the girl's gone?
No, that was Evelina.
Why the hell is she calling her husband Grandpa?
Well, because he is Grandpa. When you become a grandpa and grandma, that's what you call your
Is it?
significant other, yes.
I thought it was one of the munchkins. That's why I was really
Right.
getting creeped out thinking, okay, these are the kids then? Which
Yeah.
probably are, but...
Yeah, they probably are, but ugh.
So, I mean, this was good because, of course, as Luis and Luke and Zoe were basically the distraction,
Right.
Diane, crazy Diane, swoops in to save the kid.
Right.
Because next thing we know, we see her running through the woods carrying Izzy. So I'm happy because she's moving.
Yeah.
And, of course, Joseph's looks at Smart Mouth and it's like, go get her. It's like, oh, great. We already see that this kid is like the Flash or some crap all of a sudden.
Yeah. And Louise sends Luke after him.
Right. So, I mean, at least Luke is upright now.
Right.
Bonus.
And can move because he moved pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to just say he's got longer legs than Smart Mouth. He
Yeah,
might have
fortunately.
a better shot getting there, but I don't know. Smart Mouth was moving last time we seen him.
Yes.
And where the hell did the meat thingy come from? The tenderizer. Yes, it's the thingy. It's the technical term, in case you weren't
Yes.
sure. But it's like, where? It was not in your hand. You were carrying Robert's head.
Right. He keeps it in his back
I was
pocket,
like,
I guess.
seriously, does he have Time Lord pockets too? It's like, ooh, bigger on the
Yeah.
inside. I'm telling you, they're killing me with the Doctor Who stuff this season. But anyway, let's come back to the
Joseph
craziness happening.
Walks up to the slab and he's got Robert's head and he's not looking too confident.
I don't care.
Yeah, no. It was nice to see a little bit of fear in his face for once.
Yes. Although he was kind of salty because he tells Zoe, you just killed your sister.
Right.
Because then you turn around and here's something coming through the door.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I felt very Voldemort-ish, Death Eater coming down the steps.
Oh, absolutely. With the long red cape.
And the mask. It's like, okay, we got a little mixture of everything happening.
Yeah.
And when we jump back to Diane had fallen. Why is it always people wearing gym shoes that fall?
Right.
Every last time. I mean, Izzy's screaming when she's trying to get away. Of course, Diane's like, go, go, go. Which, again, is surprising that she's in the state of mind to still be like, kid, run.
Right.
Yeah.
This was the most sane she's been since we've seen her.
Yes. I'm glad.
Picked a great time to be sane for
your lucidity.
an hour or two.
Yeah, because here comes Smart Mouth, like I said, with the frickin' meat tenderizer.
And he's got it raised up, ready to hit her, and Luke snatches it out of his
Oh,
hands.
thank you, Luke.
Yeah.
And Luke proceeded to tenderize Smart Mouth.
Yes, the back of his head was definitely tenderized.
That was messed up. And I want to say whoever did the makeup, did the face for Robert, for the head, and then obviously Smart Mouth's head so that you can see the tenderizer, the marks on it. Oh my God, you guys are amazing with the FX.
Yes.
Amazing.
Or the costuming. Either one. It was fantastic.
It was. And as this is going on, we kind of zip over to Edie, who's on the ground. Apparently the baby's coming. And Meat Monster decided to be like, oh, I'm not a nurse. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because she's by herself, and you just see, like, blood coming, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, I haven't had one. I don't think that's normal, though.
No.
That's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not water breaking. That's something much worse.
Yeah. And, of course, she's screaming in pain and trying to push, as you got Smartmouth being beaten to death.
Right, and the cutting back and forth was just...
It was messed up.
Yeah, it really was.
Oh, I'm just saying that was something else, and I'm like, might want to rethink this having a kid thing.
Yeah, and of course, Luke just beats him senseless.
Oh, yeah.
And we see Edie lying on the ground instead of sitting up, and it kind of appears like she passes because she don't move.
I didn't know if she just maybe passed out because obviously childbirth painful.
Yes.
Maybe it was just a lot happening and she just like,
right.
I just need to close my eyes for a minute. I'll be okay. But I mean, as this is happening, the landlord's coming down. Our creepy Death Eater happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do not know what the hell is happening. Because Joseph's just calm at this point, walking up to him. It's like, yeah, what's up, man?
He knows what's up.
I know, but he's just so calm.
Well, he can't run.
That's true.
Because it's going to get him anyway. So it's just, he's resigned himself that he knows what's going to happen. And of course, it makes sure that it just tortures Joseph as much as it can because you see Evelina and the two munchkins explode.
That was gross.
Yes. Especially when the blood from each of them fly into each other. And go,
and the whole time, like, you see the universe and everything and probably all the mysteries of life within the folds of the cape.
Right.
Like, he's showing Joseph this and at the same time torturing him.
Yeah.
And this is what I thought was interesting because Alice is freaking out because she sees this. It's like, oh, crap. And Louise is holding Zoe back because Zoe wants to run to her sister.
Right.
But you don't know what's happening. He might eat you.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know who's next. And of course, Joseph has to open his mouth and say, sick fuck.
I guess he's finally no longer happy with his God.
Apparently not. And of course, he gets blown up as well, but
we see it twice.
Right.
It was like once, like really fast, and then they kind of went back, so it was slow motion. Again, makeup effects. Oh, wow. I bow to you guys. Like, you see him, like, rip apart slow and then explode. I was like, that is so freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, as he gets ripped right down the middle.
Yes. And you see a liver fly off to the side. I don't know if you caught that. Like, it bounced. Yeah. I was like, what? Oh, my God. This is so messed up.
Yeah.
But visually, it was really awesome because you got, like, everything that was happening. And even, like, the slow-mo where you, like, see the face and how it was ripped. It was so weird.
Yeah, it really was.
But awesome. I really wish I was able to do something like that. But
yeah. So once again, Alice looks around and sees body parts all over the place.
Yeah. Last man standing. Oh, great. Now what?
Yeah. And she starts walking towards it.
I didn't understand this. And then next thing we know, we see her mom.
Right.
It's like her mom's just sitting there smiling. And what the heck? Why is it showing Alice her mom? Like, if it's supposed to show you everything and the meaning of life or whatever, her mom who went crazy and stabbed her sister, that's what you're showing her? That just seemed like a bad thing.
Well, I believe it knew that Alice had not been part of the family for long, so he wasn't going to kill her, but he wanted to make sure that she would not be able to tell anybody anything.
Yeah, because anybody was going to believe that.
Right, because she saw her mom, which got her to walk up to her and actually touch hands.
No matter how much Zoe was yelling for her.
Right. And of course, that's when the massive mental overload occurs for Alice.
Yes, because he
face. Just, yeah.
Again, just morphs into the universe. And it's like, okay, I don't know if this is better because you see all these different flashes from Alice's head. And I start feeling really bad for Alice.
Yeah.
Because when you hear anything's better than going insane, it's like, oh, crap.
And then we get a shot of her brain. And then the scene where Zoe teases Alice with the caterpillar that we saw. Then back to the brain. And you hear Joseph say, your mind is fragile. And then the face of her madness pops up. And then you see Alice's face morph. Then the knife. And her brain. The red door. Your mind is fragile again. Then the cow skull. And her face morphs again. And she sees her mother on the bed. And a bloody knife in a hand. And you go, yeah, he just short-circuited her brain completely.
Yeah, total mindfuck right there.
Yeah, he closes his cape and climbs up the stairs. And as the cape hits the stairs, it reveals Alice on the ground.
Yes. And this is weird because Zoe does finally get to her and try to wake her up. And you hear it where she sounds really far away.
Right.
And I thought her eyes were like all white, like it almost blinded her too. But it may have just been kind of like rolled up in her skull or something.
Yeah, no. Yeah, her eyes were open, even though Zoe was saying, wake up, wake up.
Yeah.
Her eyes were open, but she was, yeah, there was nothing behind those eyes that could process anything.
Right. And this was weird because then all of a sudden you're up in the summer house.
Right.
In the room with the fireplace that had the girl's painting above it. And, that's empty. But you keep hearing, it sounded like flies.
Right.
And in the hallway that was empty. And then, what was it? The other, like, sitting room, parlor, whatever, empty.
Right.
You keep hearing the bugs.
Where Joseph was feeling Edie's baby kick.
Yeah. And the whole.
And then the whole, yeah.
The whole, yeah. And then the daughter's bedroom, one bed messy, one bed straight. You just keep hearing the bugs. And then this was weird because then you see Grandma sitting up in the dining room, talking to nobody.
Right. Just carrying on. It's a great conversation, just having a grand old time. And you go,
I'm like, so is Grandma still alive? Because, like, the god isn't killing her because it's like, I don't know what to do with this lady.
Yeah, that just threw me. I didn't understand why he would save the grandmother.
So
because she is crazy? Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. So you got Grandma, who's still kicking, it seems. The gardener, which we have no idea what happened. The butler, we have no idea what happened.
No.
Edie, that we're not 100% on.
No, we don't know if she's alive or not.
And then that happens, and you see the red door. Then we cut to 1 year later. I'm like, all right, so what the heck just happened?
Yeah. Exactly. You go, huh. Okay, so the landlord kept the summer house.
And some of the people?
Kept the grandma and the gardener and the butler, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe not?
Yeah, we don't know.
Don't know.
Big question mark there. Like I said, Edie in my head is still a question mark.
Right. Yes.
I didn't see her blow up.
Yeah.
She's still
she
a question
did not
mark.
explode. Right. Yeah. So Edie and Grandma are the only Peaches that haven't blown up or been killed yet.
Yes.
That we know of. So it opens on a wall painting of space, and as the camera pulls back, I recognized that it was definitely the asylum that their mom was in. And sure enough, we see her mom sitting at the table, smiling, and extends her hands and touches someone's hands, and you go, okay, which daughter is it?
Right, because she kept saying, I wasn't myself. I wasn't myself.
Yeah.
Until she said, but now you're with me. And you pull back and you see Alice. And I'm like, oh, crap. Seriously. Total flip. I was not expecting that. But Alice looks completely vacant behind the eyes.
Yes, absolutely vacant. Either she is so heavily medicated or is just a vegetable.
I don't know why they're in the same facility, but hey, whatever works, I guess.
Right.
And you start seeing then, because they pull away, and you see shots of Butcher's Block.
Right.
And all of that graffiti is kind of fading away.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so does this mean the area is getting better, or the fact that the Peaches are not there anymore, it's just automatically fading? Like, I wasn't sure.
Well, if it's been a year, and if the people aren't going back and retouching the faces up like we saw the first couple do, then yeah, it's going to fade away. So you figure that means that, yes, there hasn't been any attacks, any people go missing. So people are starting to feel a little safer and forgetting about the butcher.
Okay.
And we see Zoe asleep in her bed. She gets up and she takes her medication.
Normally.
Yes.
Not sniffing anything.
No. And we go, okay, where are we? Well, we're at Luis's because her cat is cleaning her bowl.
No cats were harmed in this one.
Yes. And you hear Luis say, you have the best fingers for this job.
What?
Huh?
Yeah.
And we see Izzy sitting next to Louise, stuffing a squirrel.
Well, I guess she's learning a trade. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, that was cute. You just keep pushing it down, but pushing it in, but don't tear it, and don't let him bite you like the last time.
Like, what?
Yeah, is this the same Louise we met in...
Right, like first episode?
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
Zoe brings in food, and you see Luke there, and you go, well, Louise has a family now?
Well, I mean, they did live through something very traumatic together.
Yes, they did.
I was honestly expecting Diane to be there.
Right.
Because we don't know what happened. Maybe whatever intervention kept her sane enough to get Izzy out kind of wore off, but she was there to help, and I thought maybe she might still be there, but
right,
not so much.
But no. And Louise serves them and tells Luke that she's watching him and he's not going to sneak a piece of it under the table for the dog.
Right. Like,
and we get the shot of the dog going, oh, shit.
I don't know if the dog is too upset because if we find out what they're having and it's Greek, and I can't remember the name of it, but
I couldn't make it out.
I'm pretty sure it has eggplant, so, the dogs might be like, yeah, I'm going to pass. I'm cool.
Yeah, because, I think so.
It's like a vegetarian dish, which I think after seeing everything, I'd probably be like, yep, I'm vegetarian too.
Yeah.
And then the final thing that we see, oh my God, this is messing me up. The frickin' meat monster walking in the park.
Right.
So, what the hell? Is it stuck down there? What?
It could be. It could be.
I don't know.
Because there's not a peach there to make the staircase appear.
And nobody has seen this meat monster?
Yeah. Well, I think they're still staying out of the park. They haven't the city hadn't come in and bulldozed it over yet.
Well, I would do that too.
Yeah, that would be the first thing I would do is get bulldozers in there and knock it all down.
By the way, I found out what it was. It's spanakopita, which is a spinach pie, which again, if I would be good not having that myself, but I would probably pass if I was the dog too.
Right.
Sorry, I had to look it up. So yeah, this had an ending where we had questions, like for real. Like first season, the two guys. Yeah,
the brother sacrificed himself to keep his younger brother from escaping.
Which he kind of was able to talk to his kid, which is weird, which is bad, I think. But it was through the TV, so he wasn't physically there.
Right.
The second season, I felt like we had closure, like for real.
Right, yes.
This season, having this weird meat monster thing and all these questions, it's like, what? Oh my God. Seriously. Like, did you have any big question marks that were still kind of hanging for you?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, we got rid of some of the peaches, but not all the peaches. You would think that you would have taken out all the peaches, gotten rid of the summer house, all that would be gone, and it was still there. So it kind of felt like, yeah, he's hanging on to this, so maybe again in the future he can
come back.
Sure. Yeah.
Unless it's been a year and he sent the meat monster down somehow.
That's true. He could have.
Ooh, I didn't think about it that way.
Right.
Just
but
now.
You didn't see the meat monster with anything. So
true.
Now, of course, he could have been walking away from the staircase, going to look for something.
And sometimes we'll never know.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about this season? Because this was like way out there. I personally liked it. Steve saying thumbs up. But what did you guys think? Shoot us an email at sci-fi talk@fangirlzone.com, and then we can post it up. Just kind of what you guys all thought about everything, because this was like, whoa, out there. So while you're at it, please don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes and every other platform you're finding us on, because good ratings and reviews does help other people find our show, because we do Sci-Fi Talk. And our next Sci-Fi Talk that we will be doing is Krypton, because that's starting up shortly. Obviously.
Yes, 10 days.
Obviously, you guys know what we're already doing, but I mean our next new show. But check out that. Check out all the shows. And we have Expanse coming back soon, which we are super excited about, because that is so exciting. I love that. So please keep up with us on that. And if you're tweeting along with us, we are at FGZ Podcast. And of course, you can check out all the other shows that we do on Sci-Fi Talk, or all the other ones that we're starting to put out. It's taking some time because we have so many shows. It's great and crazy and exciting all at the same time. But if there's anything out there that you'd like to join us on that you see coming out, shoot us an email. We love having people guest with us too. And tell your friends all about all the awesome shows coming. You need to make your friends watch this. If you watch this and you're listening to us, you need to make them watch these 6 episodes of this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what the next season is. Like, they haven't said what it actually is yet.
Right.
So they keep ramping this up. It's like just little baby steps, but enough where it's like leaps and bounds from the last episode or last season.
Right.
It's crazy. So I do hope you're enjoying all of it. Don't forget to check out our website, fangirlzone.com. We have some shopping links if you want to check those out and see Steve and I cartoonized as our awesome Sci-Fi Talk people. All right. So for this episode of Sci-Fi Talk and the season finale of this season of this season of Channel Zero, Butcher's Block. I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. Your mind is fragile. His power could overwhelm you.
And until next time.